Hello and welcome to my kitchen. I'm Liam. So today what we're going to do is we're going to cook my version of a family classic. Today we are going to be making turkey meatloaf. Now gone are the days of fatty, dripping meatloaf, just the mess of fat that you would have to go through at the bottom of the pan. Not with this recipe. So today I'm going to be making this extraordinary and moist, and you don't hear that very often with turkey meatloaf recipe. So, let's begin. So, I have 1.5 pounds of just your average lean ground turkey that I picked up at the store today. And we're just going to dump that into my bowl here. And what I have in here is 1/2 cup of chopped onions, just roughly chopped. You don't have to really do too much to it. And to this we are going to add some wonderful ingredients. So for starters, this is about 1/4 cup of chopped chervil. If you can't find chervil, use tarragon. That works quite well in this recipe. Yeah, you're going to add a lot, but we want a lot of flavor. And what we're also going to add to this, of course, you need breadcrumbs, but since I don't have breadcrumbs today, what I've done is I've taken some average croutons, I've just ground them up, and there's about 1/2 cup here. We're just gonna dunk that in. Okay. And 2/3 cup of house dressing. Now, this is a maple balsamic vinaigrette that I use. You can use your favorite sort of emulsified. Don't use like a creamy ranch dressing or anything like that, but if you've got, say, maybe a sweet onion vinaigrette or something, that would actually go quite nicely in here. So what we're going to do is just dump that in. And use your fingers if you have to. Yeah, and it's going to look like a lot, but trust me on this one. You want lots of flavor after all. Delicious. And you're also going to add 1 egg. So you see, very simple. Now what I'm also going to do with this recipe today is take it one step further. We're going to stuff it. Yes. Wait and see that. Alright, so let's just clean this up a little bit and wash my hands quickly, and let's mash it all up with our hands. Oh yes. And it's okay if it's a liquidy mess, that's just the way it's supposed to be. Another thing you might want to add at the end is a dash of salt and pepper, which we will do after cleaning my hands. Following this. Now don't mix this up too much, or else it will get tough. You just want to very lightly mix this. There, like so. Okay. Wash your hands. A little pepper, just a touch, I don't like using very much, and just some coarse sea salt. Just grind it in. Okay, and if you want, at this point on, just fold those remaining seasonings in. You don't have to do too much to it. Okay. So, that's it. So, now let's prepare our pan. And I'm going to be using a fairly large pan today. Fairly big. A little bit here. So we're going to use this one right here. And the first thing you're going to want to do is take a little piece of butter and just butter the bottom and the sides, which I am doing right now, just to give it a little bit, not only flavor on the bottom, but you want to make sure it's slightly greased. I mean, you don't need much, just a touch. whatever, you know what? You can just throw that in the mix. Don't have to throw the remaining butter away. Why would you do that? Okay, so then we're going to take half of this mixture right here, and what we're going to do is we're going to put half of it into the bottom of the pan. See how simple this is? It's really delicious. So you want to create almost a thin layer, like so, enough to cover the bottom evenly. Okay, so make sure it's nice and even. Just use a spatula like this if you've got one. Okay. And actually, you know what? Let's put a little bit more. Just a touch. Just to even that out. Putting that half in. Okay. You're going to see the next stage. So, what does meatloaf go well with? Mashed potatoes, of course. So what I have here, I have about 2.5 cups or so of mashed potatoes. You don't need to follow a specific recipe or anything. Just make sure they're well seasoned with salt. If you want to add garlic, go ahead. I haven't here, but just your average. You don't have to mash them too much either. So next step is we're going to just set this aside here. We're just going to put these potatoes into the pan. And again, spread them out evenly. And as I said, this is stuffed. So, of course, we're going to put something like this in the middle. Why wouldn't we? Okay. So, that's good enough. Just next, we'll put the remaining meatloaf on top of that. Then it will be ready for the oven. Ooh, this is beautiful. Kinds of fresh chervil dotted all throughout, onions. You don't need a whole lot in this. Okay, so there we have it. Now all you need to do is wrap it in tin foil, and then, well, wash your hands first. Wrap it up in tin foil, like so. So we're just going to wrap that up. Oh, another thing you could do, which I am actually going to do today, I forgot. So I'm going to take a little more house dressing, okay? Just like we would do with regular meatloaf, you would put ketchup on it. I'm actually going to take some house dressing. I'm just going to take a couple of spoonfuls of it. Just to give it a little extra flavor. And I'm just going to spread that on the top. This will actually go very nicely, the whole dish. Just slather that around a little bit. Delicious. Just so it's all covered. Okay. And there we have it. So next, now we can wrap it up. Okay. And we are now going to put it in a 400-degree oven until it reaches 165 degrees. So that might take 45 minutes to an hour, maybe a little longer depending on your oven. And we will see you back then. Okay, so here we are after about 45 minutes. What we're now going to do is I'm just going to take out the take the foil off here. And then what we're going to do is I'm just going to brush it with a little bit more house dressing, and then we're going to put it back in the oven for probably another 15 or so minutes. It's not quite there yet. We're at about 149 degrees, and I would say in about 15-20 minutes this will be done. Alright, and here we are after 15 to 20 minutes, and I've double checked it with the thermometer just to make sure that it is cooked through, and it is. So now what we're going to do is we're going to let it sit for about, I would say, 10 minutes before we cut into it. We will see you then. And so there we have it. So it's a melding of mashed potatoes, so here, and you got your meatloaf on the other side. What's great is the meat drippings go into the mashed potatoes. It makes it a little bit liquidy, but that's okay. And I already cannot wait. Not even the least bit dry. Very, very flavorful too. So, with that being said, thank you for coming into my kitchen. Have a great day!